Hey guys, well I'm on vacation in Amsterdam at the moment and I'm here at Rebel Relic with Luke. Luke.
Cheers.
Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Well, my pleasure.
And I do mean that. We've had about 3 of these shots of tequila.
Yeah, who's counting? Mi casa, senor.
And a few beers. So cheers.
Yes.
Now tell me about your company here, Rebel Relic. How long has it been going for and what's the story behind it?
Story behind Rebel Relic is I was a furniture maker for many years and a general contractor. And I started just tinkering around in my attic, or solder kammer as they call it here in Holland, just doing some little guitar tweaks and things like that and experimenting. And it turned out that a lot of my guitar friends would come by and say, can you do a little something for me? And I found myself becoming a luthier part-time, and it turned into refinishing. I have a few friends who really had some fantastic collections of some old 60s basses and things like that, and they needed touch-ups and refinishing. They knew how it should look, how it should feel, what it should smell like, but they didn't know how to do it. But since I was handy, I just dove into it, and it turned out to be kind of like a, what do they call that? White on rice, hair in a gorilla, pig and shit, something like that.
Fake
I felt
it till you
at
make
home.
it.
I did, yeah, exactly. And they were great tutors. I just had to figure out how to do it technically. And it just turned out that I had a bit of a talent for it. Decided to build a guitar on my own, and I built a guitar, and it was in tune, it played nicely, and I thought, well, this has got to be beginner's luck. I've got to do another one. So build a couple more, and then away I went.
Well, let's talk about some of the guitars that you made. What did you start off making when your first guitar that you made, and then moving into the more commercial stuff that you were doing?
Well, that's interesting because I mean, I was, let's say, searching, like a lot of musicians do, for what kind of guitar I like personally. I mean, I liked a lot of Gibson guitars, ES335s. I liked Epiphones, the Sorrentos, and things like that. Anything that was semi-acoustic, I was pretty keen on. But once I was just looking through the internet, and I saw this copy of a Fender guitar from Nash. It turns out to be and he was in it. I saw this surf green Telecaster. I think it was like a 1955 Telecaster surf green.
Beautiful.
And I thought, damn, I mean, that's a rare color for 1955, even if it existed.
Is that like that foam green? Is that the old?
Yeah, it's like
green?
sea foam green. It's it's a kind of minty, and
Beautiful
it was
color.
tinted with a little bit of amber. And I thought, I just want that guitar. So I researched it. It didn't have any names on it, so I researched who made that guitar, and I thought, well, that's awesome. I can't buy an original 1955 Telecaster in surf green. I guess I'm gonna have to make it. So that's what I did. I just went out and, up in my attic and made one.
Yeah.
So that was my first actual guitar. That's the avenue. What we're doing basically is just recapturing how they were done in the old days and doing it again, in a smaller factory form instead of just throwing them out there like McDonald's hamburgers. But it is a tough business to be in, because, like I said, you have to have something truly special, or otherwise there's no point in doing it. And it's really not just to make money. I mean, why just put another fucking guitar out there and not go the extra mile and make something where you can give somebody the tools to have a really nice musical relationship with.
So what, your very favorite guitar out of all the guitars that you make, what is it?
My favorite guitar at the moment is our new model, which is the convertible. It's a little bit of a mix of one of my biggest idols, Nat Daniels from Dan Electro. It's like so light that you actually have to pull it down. It just wants to fly away. And I just love the idea of having a guitar that reeks that 1950s feel, super light. I think I can hold it up with one finger. Yeah, well, it's just ridiculous. Very acoustically, and
What's the pickup you've got in there? Obviously a lipstick.
This is our own lipstick pickup that we have made, and it's just got that very, very simple Dano sound to it, if you can say that without getting into trouble. Anyway, this is the prototype of the new model that we're doing, and I talked to my friend Dennis Fano, and he suggested to me what kind of wraparound to put on here, so I just put some Tolex from Vox, or I use the Fender Tolex on it, and it just wraps it up really nicely. It looks like it's got a nice shirt on it. Not a tuxedo, but a nice shirt.
Well, Luke, what we might do actually, because you were showing me around what's soon to be your new store, which is fantastic, which is going to be opening sort of in the next month or 6 weeks or so. Yes. And Luke's going to give us a little bit of a look through the store, just so you can see what to expect. And if you're ever here in Amsterdam,
sneak preview,
definitely come and have a look at Rebel Relic guitars and have a shot of tequila with Luke.
Indeed, we will.
Thanks for having me.
Okay,
Luke.
my pleasure, man. Yeah, it's good. Now it's more like I don't really mind about how long things take at the moment. I'm more concentrated on just getting the guitars done. I'm thinking of it more like an emporium. You know, I love the mystery, veils after veil after veil. So we got the shop in front, and it's not the biggest shop in the world, but it's just going to be kind of jam-packed, like we were here for 75 years kind of feeling. So there's always something to see, always something to find. So the more you look, the more shit you're going to find. And like, if there's not a price tag on it, you know, he's just gonna make you want it more. So after the shop, there's gonna be what I call the Bongo Room, where we're gonna have acoustic guitars and percussion stuff. Anything that I like, or some people can recommend things. We're gonna have these cigar box guitars and cangelos. I know some other builders who, you know, from Greece or who live locally, that just build some really cool, unusual shit. I love the idea of having something you just can't find anywhere else. You don't see them online, and then you just walked into a place. It's full of fucking surprises. So that's the way I'm hoping it's gonna turn out. So we got the shop, and we're the boy out of the bubble. This is gonna be the Bongo Room here. And with this kind of space here, this is a sneak preview. Then we step down into the Rebel Relic office area over here. We got a little bit more elbow room than we had before, and it does seem like a little bit like a sandwich bar. We might actually be able to serve sandwiches. We have what's going to be a steampunk kind of kitchen, lots of copper, and storage room. We've got our assembly area, which is basically the same as it was in the other shop. There are so many teeny little detail parts, and we have to keep little teeny drawers with every type of vintage screw that we have for the vintage items and for our Rebel Relic guitars. So it's like being in a candy shop with every kind of flavor that you can imagine, but old and rusty. And so we spend most of our time over here just putting everything together and finalizing. And this is where we're going to do the repairs in the end. Is the rehearsal studio. And I've got enough room here for 2 drum sets. We're going to have some nice old tube PA systems. I just love that old analog-y, tubey sound. We're gonna have a little bar here, so you just won't want to leave. That's why my wife asked me after I bought the couch, she said, can you sleep on it? So I might end up having a few nights over here.